Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Are you okay? In your neck of
When we dry them up, too cold. Now go too deep, you know. Yeah, you have to watch Joe, you know. Our troops, see there? Apple cider vinegar and our troops. Come up right, make them get saturated in the gravy and all of that.
On today's episode of the Jamaican Cooking Journey, I'll be sharing with you how to prepare some just simply flavorful, fluffy yellow rice. Okay, so for this, and I think I have one that I've done some years ago. For this recipe, it's how I'm doing it. It's gonna be like just a small amount of ingredients, not too much. I don't remember if I'd used more, but I in the previous one, but I don't think so. So first of all, I'll have 2 cups of rice that have been washed, drained, and it has been properly dried. Okay, so when you want to get your rice real fluffy, I am not a fan of like shelly rice. Oh, I'm not. But some people like their rice really shelly. I like my rice with a little moist. I like it more on the moist side. But that's up to you. Okay, so right here I have some chicken noodle stock. You know those things that we put in soup? Right, so I think I'm going to turn my flame off at the bit. I was preheating. So I have done a little prepping here. Some people always say, why are you not prepping? I've prepped so many times, family. When I'm seasoning up, I've done it so many times. I don't think it is really necessary each video you're doing to do the prepping. I would rather be, educating you, giving you tips as I go along. Prep so most of the times off camera, because the prepping is like chopping your scallions, your herbs and stuff most of the time. So the other prepping method, so I think it's not necessary to be prepping every single time the same herbs and other prepping. So I've gone ahead and I've chopped some scallions, mostly green parts. I have chopped really fine some onions, okay, and I have a little added salt. But mind you, this is salty, so I don't think we might, but I have it in case we need it. I have here some chopped garlic and I have some fresh thyme. I have here this is not scotch bonnet. It's not. It's just some regular pepper. I don't know. It's not really spicy. It's not really hot, so I have that. Okay, so I have my rice, I have my onions, and if you can see, I've chopped my onions really fine, because you don't want to be tasting huge pieces of onions. And for me, I am not sure. I'm just gonna throw this out. You can interact with me in the comment section. For me, I think when you use lots and lots of onions, it gives texture as opposed to flavor. That's just me, what I find out as I am on this journey of cooking. So I've chopped it really fine to give the rice some texture, and this is about a half a cup, I would say, or a little shy of half a cup. Over here I have got me some natural turmeric that I was blending. Okay, that is for coloring, to pep up the yellow rice. So what I'll do, I will just like just whip it up. So this is a pretty color. This turmeric is natural. So this is here, this you could use chicken stock, beef stock, so this here I'm gonna put some of it to bring the color up. This here is almost 4 cups, about 3 3/4 cups of the chicken noodle broth, and I have 2 cups of rice that I've washed and drained really dry. So let's proceed to put this thing together. Let me vamp my flame up a bit. Right on over here I've got me this soda wok. Yeah, I've got about 2.5 tablespoons, 2 1/4 there in there, and I'm gonna vamp it up a little bit on the medium. We are gonna be flavoring up this skillet before we put in our other stuff. Okay, so what I want to put in there first is my onions. They have been finely chopped to give me some texture, lots of texture. Want all the texture. We're gonna, you know, saute it and let it break down. Yeah, so we're gonna start with our onions first. Gonna get our flame up a little. You can do it on almost high, not fully high. So let that stay in there, and then it will do its thing. So this pepper, though, it's optional. It's not hot, so I'll be chopping off a few pieces, and I'm gonna do it fine too. Yeah, but if you must do it, try to put on your gloves. Do it so you know it won't burn you, because sometimes it's not hot for me, but it's hot for, it might not be spicy for me, but it might be for the other person or for other person. So I'm getting it chopped fine. I want it to distribute all through this little yellow rice to give it a little additional flavor, because it's not spicy. If you want a more spicy one, use a more spicy one. So we have that, and we have our onions over here. Look at them. You see? Okay. So at this point, I'll add my garlic. You notice I didn't start with the garlic because I want the onions to start breaking down a bit. So I have not really added my garlic, because the garlic will burn faster than the onion. You can add a little chopped ginger if you so desire. It's not really necessary. I would say if you're using coconut milk as a liquid, then you would want to add the garlic. Not the garlic, the ginger. Putting in my scallions now, so everybody is there. Everybody is together. Let's ramp our flame up a bit. Let's get our little peppers and the rest of our little garlic right in there. We're gonna be putting this yellow rice together, and it's gonna be just simple. Okay, yellow rice can be a nice staple or side dish, whatever you want to call it, for your Easter Sunday dinner, along with some nice brown stew fish. Or if you don't want to have brown stew fish, you can have escovitch. You can also have it with some nice steamed fish and okra. Yeah, just to make the thing look different. So look at this. This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna chop me here a few pieces of this here, my fresh thyme. Don't try to get all the sticks. You don't want to get too much of the sticks in this thing. When you're eating your rice, this is good. It's fresh to the amount of rice. Where you're only using 2 cups of rice, so you don't want to use no more to make it get too much. Yeah, so this is happening, and you can see. So you notice I used mostly onions, so it is breaking down right here. Lower your flame. Now that it's breaking down, it's time to add your washed and properly drained rice. Why? Because we're gonna be tossing up this rice here in this nice herbs that we have here. So at this time, you should have your flame down. Did I say I used corn oil? Yes, you can use your olive oil, your oil of choice. Flame back up a little. What we are doing now, we are thoroughly mixing the sauteed herbs in this rice. So you want to get your thing up, because my thing here is thick, you know. So my flame have a relatively, you know, reasonably high. If your pot or your skillet or whatever you're doing, it is thinner, then you will know how to adjust. You adjust your heat to the quality of your pot, your skillet, or what you have. So we are going to do that for a little bit and return. And as I said, I prefer to prep off camera and to use that prepping time to educate you, to share with you as I go along. I'm going to toast this up a bit and we'll soon come back. I use the word toast a few times in the prayer clips. I'm talking about coat. Coat is the word that I'm looking for. So, or should be the word used. About 3 3/4 cups of this. Yeah, and then as I said, you could use your stock of choice. So this here is just to get your flame down. This here is just to get your rice with some flavor. It's not enough to give it that pretty color. So we're gonna strain now some of this fresh. You could use turmeric powder if you don't have fresh. All right, so we're gonna strain about a tablespoonful of our freshly. Let's do that. And then we'll see if we need more. Remember, this thing is strong, so you don't want to put too much. The turmeric juice is very strong. It is powerful, so we are adding the turmeric and my water there for color. So what we could do here, we don't want to add any more, except we're just gonna be just squeezing out this little extra, because this thing is strong and it has this tarty taste. So you don't want too much eating, you know. Yeah. So if you don't have turmeric, the full turmeric juice, you could just have your, what's that thing there, Dad? The powdered turmeric. Let's put just a little more of this, because the rice, it will need enough liquid to, as it cooks, to make room to expand. Okay, nicely. Everything is together. What do you think about that, Dad? Yeah, nice, naturally flavored, naturally colored. I think this the cock soup mix is not natural. I ensure it as in artificial stuff. But this thing here, the turmeric, let us taste right here for our salt perfection. It is spicy, and we do need a little extra salt. Let us get our little salt in. So you taste for your salt, and it is spicy, and Dad, you are out of this. Can still take a little more. So I would say we use about 3 cups of water to this 2 cups of rice. Look at it. Cover, and it's best to use cover that doesn't have, you know, those pots that has the hole at the top. I'm on a low flame. I'm gonna cover and leave it right there. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it right there on that low flame, and we have a little excess in case your rice is different. I just use my regular white rice. You have some people, the rice is totally different types of rice. And as I said, sometimes people say use this amount of rice to this amount of water, but actually it depends on the quality of your rice. Back in the days, we didn't have so many different type of rice, so we could say, but now it all depends on your rice. You might use 2 cups of rice and want to use 4 cups of water, and that's too much. So you get some kind of mushy rice where you really not eat, and then you could have 2 cups of rice that require more than 4 cups of water, depending on the type of rice. I have found out this through experience. If you can attest to that, drop it in the comment section. So you want to leave a little. You might need it, you might not need it. So we are going to leave it on this low, leave it to simmer. And also you can add yourself a little butter as it starts to dry out, if you so please. I'll catch you in the next clip with this just easy yellow rice. It's easy to prepare. So it has been about 12 minutes, and you can see here, this, the top of this doesn't have a slot in there, and you can see all the steam under there. So I'm gonna lift it for the very first time. Yep. And I'm just gonna fluff it. You can use a spoon. Why do we think that a spoon cannot fluff the rice? Let me show you that you can use a spoon to fluff your rice just the same. It doesn't matter. I don't know why some people is of the notion. And for me, I think the spoon fluffs it the better. Okay, we're going to turn it off. And this is our, look at this, Dad. This nice, pretty yellow rice. Look at this. A spoon fluffs it the best.
Really pretty.
Yeah. Shoot them up, Dad. So we get our flame off. Yeah, we're fluffed. And let me show you that I've been fluffing from the bottom. So be careful. See, I'm fluffing from the bottom. I'm just going to cover it another minute or two, let the flavors gel together. And when you see me next, I'll have some all plated just for you. From my kitchen to yours, from my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your plate, and most of all to your stomach. It is simple yellow rice done in your very own kitchen. You can. I just did it for you. You can too. Just in time for the Easter coming up, Easter season coming up. You can have this with fish, fried chicken, you name your meat of choice. You can have it with steamed vegetables. You do you. Okay, remember to make sure you try it. Remember to leave me a comment below. Remember to be you, do you. Most of all, love you some of this rice. Now there is something that I must add. Now this rice wasn't done with beans. As you know, when you do rice with beans and peas, it has that extra texture, and it enables you to cup or to bowl it. I personally use that amount of onions finely chopped. Remember, I did say to give you some texture. It did add some texture, thus making it the simplest, the easiest rice to bowl. It was the easiest way to get it bowled. You didn't even have to press down because the onions gave it that texture. Try it. Let me know in the comments below. In the description of this and all my other videos and lives, there will be all my info. Thanks once more to all my patrons.